I think video games can teach kids everything from how to be a good winner, how to be a good loser, how to accept and receive criticism, how to communicate effectively. And what we want to do is help our gamers learn in a variety of different ways.
I think video games can teach kids social skills that they can carry into other things.
Whether it's how to communicate properly, how to strategize and plan. There's a lot of different things that you can learn from playing video games.
It taught me a lot about myself, my strengths and weaknesses, how to improve, how to work with others, teamwork, etc. Every second you're playing like a game of rock, paper, scissors or a game of checkers or chess, you learn about how to perform at your best and do that to outperform the other person.
We're more concerned about making sure that this experience is a positive and a learning experience for them.
Esports is playing competitive games at the highest level possible against, in our case, other schools. So basically it all started with me and a few friends. We got together and started playing League of Legends together. We wanted to make a team, and then over time they gave us a room to play, and since then we basically started adopting other games that we felt would be very competitive. And today we have a full esports arena now with 25 gaming PCs where students can come in and play those games together.
When I looked at Stevenson University, I knew the psych program was very good, but I didn't know really of the esports program. But just entering the room and just seeing people just trying to game and do their best, essentially, as a team and coordinate and talk about the game here was an environment I'd never really seen or been a part of ever before in my life. So when I first went into the esports room, I knew immediately this was the school for me.
At orientation, I actually saw a presentation about the esports club, but I didn't know that it had an Overwatch team. I'm a commuter student, so I'm not on campus a whole lot. It's very inclusive, so this is a good way for me to meet friends and hang out with people on campus.
I think that the esports program allows students to work on a team just like they would on any other sports team, but in this case it's for video games. It also helps students in their coursework if they are a technical student, if they want to do video or social media, all these things are involved in our club. So being able to provide that for the students I think is really important.
I think video games can teach kids everything from how to
Hey
be
everybody.
a good winner, how to be a good loser.
Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of Discord too. So I've heard some bloops, but hi everybody. Woo!
We're here finally, 7 o'clock.
Yup. My name is Josh Hafkin. I'm the founder and CEO of the Game Gym.
And I'm Tyler Price, the founder of Stevenson University Esports.
So we're here and we're really excited to, get into this and kind of, we've been hyping things up for a little bit now. And, Tyler and I and our staff and Stevenson have been working for a little bit together to create something. And, before we do that and before we get into everything, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew how to be able to still follow the things that we do. So can you tell everybody about Stevenson's, a little bit about the university and then how to follow you guys?
Yeah, so Stevenson University is a private four-year school out of Baltimore, Owings Mills area. And we ended up, we're going to adjust our volume a little bit. Perfect. So
Volume better?
So Stevenson University, I actually ended up going there back in 2014, and now I'm graduating there. And we have an esports program that I started a couple years ago. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, we are SU_esports if you don't already. And yeah, that's the best way to get in contact with us and kind of follow up on what we do.
Yep. And the Game Gym is a esports program for kids who are 10 to 18. It's our goal to make sure that everybody gets a really great start in this. And, esports right now are the Wild West, and we're trying to make sure that the kids who are excited about esports, they, enter into this world in a really positive way. So we provide, wonderful coaches for our kids, and we provide a number of resources for them as well. So, for me and what I really kind of, the issue that I was really wanting to figure out is how do we help kids who are interested in esports get a better start? And, one of the ways we do that is through competition.
Right.
Competition is super important to, all of us as we're growing up. We all play sports and things like that. But say you're somebody who really loves esports, there aren't too many opportunities that are local for you to compete.
Especially not in person.
Exactly.
We all know that esports is one of those things that, yeah, you can compete online, and even, I have a lot of experience competing online in different tournaments, and yeah, it's really exciting. It's a lot of fun to play with a team online. Yeah, I was gonna say, screw it.
Yeah.
Why don't you pull up the chat too?
Nice.
And just mute the stream.
Hey, this is, we're doing this. This is the first time we're really doing this, and we appreciate everybody giving us a little slack as we kind of figure out this whole thing.
But yeah,
thank you.
Like I said, online competitions are very, popular with esports right now. I think that's kind of the, what everybody kind of goes for, because right now doing esports competitions in person are just kind of unheard of, especially in the East Coast area and the DC area and stuff. So I think that Josh and I are really trying to push that idea that like gaming in person and competing in person is just a lot different and a lot more, would you say, personal, right?
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing about it is, what we're seeing now and more, like with this new Overwatch team, is we're seeing people are getting looked over because they don't have stage experience. Right. It's like they might be a great player in their basement and at their home court, but at the end of the day, like, they don't necessarily know what it's like to play in a high stakes match in front of a big crowd of people. So there's a number of reasons why Stevenson and the Game Gym have been kind of, exploring these things together. One of the other things about what we're trying to build is that, for the kids and the competitors, there's very few experiences, but also for the general public, like, we sit here and, we all know about esports. Sure. Everybody watching the stream, thank you, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. But, we all live in a silo, and at the end of the day, the general person doesn't really know too much about esports.
Sure.
And so the more opportunities that we have to present to our communities, hey, this is esports, and it's not the stereotypical negative, dude in his basement or girl in his basement that you normally think. It's much different. There's a lot of communication. There's good friends.
Teamwork,
team
building, all that sort
it
of
was
stuff.
One of the coolest things that I ever. One of the coolest experiences I had was when I went to Xanadu for their new opening at Laurel Park. I heard more like, excuse me, like, sorry, like, hey, what's up? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody was so nice because everybody realized what a big deal was to have this new Xanadu and this perception that people had about gamers and, that they were, antisocial or mean or not, couldn't hang out together.
Exactly.
Really kind of opened my eyes. So that's a huge thing about, why we're doing it. And then also we need to educate parents too.
Right. And I think, for me specifically, being about to graduate with my master's degree and everything, like, this is really important in schools as well. It's one thing to play video games just in general, no matter where you play. I see someone says they play in their living room, which
Maggie,
is totally
what's
fine.
up?
Totally fine. The thing that I think what struck me as a college student was playing in my dorm room with friends. And for the first 2 years when I came to Stevenson, I realized that, hey, I wish I knew more people on campus that played video games. And it was kind of hard. We had a video games club, which was really great, but then, it kind of fell off. And I kind of just wanted more, interpersonal, I guess, experiences playing games with people. And that's kind of when the idea with a couple of friends of mine came to me and was like, hey, let's make a league team. And from there, I just kind of blossomed in this whole thing. And the first time we sat in a room together, right next to each other, kind of like this, and we played a match in a tournament, and we, made a play or won the match, it was like a whole different experience. Like, you could get excited in your dorm room and like, yeah, cheer, and your friends are like on the mic and everyone's excited, but like, you look around, you're still in your room.
Yeah, you go, yeah, and then you're like,
huh, So like the difference is, I think that in a room, it's a lot different. So playing in person, just like pretty much with anything, the internet's great, gaming online is great, but if you can have that same kind of experience, but like next to somebody, you can bump them, be like, hey, nice job, nice play. There's something about that feeling right there that you can't replicate online, at least not yet. And I think that's where Josh and I kind of meet together. Is like, we want to provide that experience because we want to prove that, like, Josh and I are gamers, right? Like, we're not the stereotype, you know, super antisocial, like, weird people, so to speak. Not that it's, you know what I mean.
Totally.
We're different than that, you know. We enjoy things just like anybody else does. So I think that's kind of the main goal here.
Yeah. And, you know, so there's like the kids, there's competition. Another big thing for us and what we're trying to do is help educate the parents.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the parents are the people who are supporting this and supporting us and what we do. And a lot of parents need assistance understanding what this world is all about and seeing it live and you know, what we're going to do and what we're, you know, kind of putting together. It's a resource for parents. It's able to like know that there are people out there like you and like me and like our staff that, you know, if they've got questions about video games, they could talk to us. If they've got questions about, hey, is this game appropriate for my kid? Like, we can answer that question.
Correct.
We can also help answer the questions of, you know, trying to get, you know, make sure that people are gaming appropriately for the appropriate amount of time and that kind of stuff. So, you know, this event is for the community. It's for kids. It's for parents. And, you know, I think, you know, we've kind of, I think have we
drawn it out long enough? Are you guys excited to hear what it is that the Game Jam and Stevenson Esports have been working on for quite some time now?
I think so.
All right, here we go.
So this is what we're doing, guys. So I know it's a huge reveal. Wow.
I would totally have a match. I asked Josh right earlier today. I said, Josh, let's do fireworks indoors.
Yeah.
And then we decided, you know what? That's probably a little too much.
We were also going to like rip off our shirts,
but
but Game Jam HR said that was not appropriate. So, hey, so what is Ignite?
There's so much to say. Ignite, I mean, it's literally in the name, right? It's got the flame. It says Ignite, obviously. And literally what we want to do is ignite the passion that's in, you know, kids and see them kind of follow their passion of playing games in a competitive setting. So that's what Ignite is. The Game Jam and Stevenson are coming together to put this event live at the Stevenson Esports Arena on campus for these kids to get that tournament experience that they would have never gotten anywhere else. You know, it's impossible to think right now anyway that, you know, these kids would have had the chance to kind of just like walk up on a big stage and play in front of millions of people. And I think what Josh and I wanted to be able to provide with this is the ability for kids to, you know, maybe not play in front of 100 million people yet, but we did want to provide them the experience of coming to a location, an esports arena, competing together next to each other, and, you know, really just having a really good time, I think, is kind of the goal with that. And igniting, like I said, igniting their passion. So
exactly. We so, you know, for us, it's all about, you know, giving our kids competition experiences. Correct. You know, part of the Game Gym is we are a training center, and if our kids don't have anything to train for, then, you know, what are you doing this for? So, you know, there's you know, online tournaments and things like that, but I mean, I couldn't find a single, you know, in real life tournament that I could enter if I'm a kid, but also that I wouldn't be matched with somebody who was like 30 and you know,
way higher skill level,
like at a whole other level. Like, so, you know, we're going to get into the details a little bit. Right now, what we're going to do is kind of continue to talk a little bit about, you know, the you know, what this is all about. So, you know, Stevenson also has an incredible esports program, esports facility. The Game Gym needs a place to compete and to give our kids an experience. And then we thought, well, why don't we open it up to everyone? Why don't we open it up and see if other people want to be a part of this and want to come and compete? And so
give them that chance, I think, is the way I thought of it. Was like, we could make it sort of a closed thing, but, you know, our goals are so much bigger than that, right? We want to reach as many people as possible and give every person that opportunity, every kid that says, man, I wish, you know, they see their favorite pro player, their favorite streamer. We wanted to give them that opportunity to feel the same way that they did, because, you know, I think Josh and I value what it is that they see in gaming, and it's incredible. You know, it's something that, like, I think you and I have, when we were kids, and I'm sure some of you, you know, we wish that we had something like that. And the fact that now we've grown up and we still feel that way. We may not be the ones playing in the tournaments and winning, but we can provide that for the kids coming up behind us. And I think for me, that's been a big goal going into Stevenson, is like, it's never a finished product. Even our stream, for example, this is the first time we've done this, and it's not super professional. There aren't real fireworks, unfortunately, but yeah, exactly. We're trying to help pave the way for those behind us and show that, hey, this is possible and we can do this.
Yep. The other thing about it is that Ignite is going to not be a one-off event.
Yes.
Which I think is really, really huge. We are igniting something that is going to continue. We are going to be doing a winter Ignite, and we are also going to be doing a spring Ignite in May. More details will come out around that.
Yep.
But then from then on, we're going to be doing Ignite every year, at least 2 of them.
Yep.
I think in the summer, it works out really well because we have SmashCon and GexCon. 2 local events that we'd like to go and hold our Ignite event at, or work with them to kind of do something. But the other times of the year, we're going to have to figure something out.
Right.
So this is not a one-off. This is definitely something that we are going to continue. These are pillars of the Game Gym program, and I think that one of the things that I really feel honored and thankful for is that I went to you, Tyler, and you bought into this idea and helped us get it approved by your administration. And
it's definitely been interesting. If any of you go to a college now and have a gaming club or an esports club or are part of an esports club, I'm sure you are aware it's definitely a challenge. Getting the school on board with this has been one of my biggest challenges. And when I sought to look out for local things that we could get involved with, I saw the Game Gym, and that day, I think almost, I got on the phone with Josh, and we immediately hatched this idea, and we were like, this has got to happen, because Josh and I are just on the same page, and, I think in general, our 2 programs, what we try to offer are on the same page, 2 different groups, but I think it's super important. One of the biggest things that I wanted to focus on as a student is too many pro players that I've seen in the esports industry are, they're not going to college. They're pursuing their professional career, which is fantastic and great. But I always wonder myself, if I was them, I would want that safety net of a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree of like something to kind of ground me, I guess. And
Totally.
I think that this works well for us because we want to make sure kids are educated. We want to make sure that our kids have college degrees and things, and after their professional career, they can go and do more gaming stuff, or they can do anything else. They could be a rocket scientist for all we know. And I think that was the big push with Stevenson Esports, is proving that we do support gaming and that it can be very beneficial to your education and everything.
Totally.
So
in addition to Stevenson and Game Gym, we've been incredibly lucky to get these incredible sponsors to buy into our program. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm missing one.
are we missing one?
We are. We have 8 sponsors.
Well, let's talk about who we have.
That's bad. I apologize.
we'll
Confident Gamers. You guys, I ruined it. I apologize. I'll make sure to get you guys in. But we're actually going to run through, and we're gonna thank these people and give a proper introduction to the people on this list. So Wizards DG, they are incredibly awesome people. What they're doing and what they're building in the WNBA in the NBA 2K League is incredible. Grant and Zach and their whole crew have been incredibly supportive of what we're doing, and we'll get into a little bit of the prizes later, but they've been huge there. Esports Fair Play. Pat is a great friend of mine. They're bringing esports communities the ultimate competitive experience. They've hosted numerous tournaments at all venues all over DC and collaborated with professional esports teams. Then we have Rufus Connects. Rufus is matching top talent with a range of fun companies in the gaming industry. They're incredible people, super supportive. Game On DC is the newest podcast in the OTN Media family, anchored by Joey. Courtside King and John Fiasco. Go DC will focus on bringing listeners the latest news about local gaming and esports events while keeping them informed on DC-based pro teams and the scenes they compete in. Make sure you follow them on Game On DC on Twitter, and their inaugural episode will launch in the coming weeks. Woo! Why don't you take the next ones?
Perfect. Cool. So, Gex Area Esports. Funny thing, I actually just met up with, I helped set up KefriCon with the GexCon team and had a lot of fun with that. But so Gex DC Area Esports is the merger of two industry leaders in the DC metropolitan area. GexCon, a video and board gaming convention run by Fayad Entertainment Group. Sorry if I mispronounce. And DC Area Esports Club. Both organizations recognized the value each offered and felt this was a great opportunity to provide more frequent events to the gamers in the surrounding area. Their groups focus on in-person events because that is what is lacking in our region, just as we were just saying.
Totally.
Then we have Confident Gamers. Confident Gamers, which I believe we accidentally missed their logo up here, but Confident Gamers still a very big part. Josh is adding it now, extra large.
I apologize.
So
we need to be better about that.
First time,
I'll do better.
We'll get better.
Sorry.
Confident Gamers was formed to help video game players and consumers get unbiased and real opinions combined with the latest gaming news and interviews through the most unique channels featuring reviews, original articles, and consumer interviews. We have DC League of Legends. DC League of Legends is an online community dedicated to congregating fellow summoners in the greater DC metropolitan area and creating an online and in-person League of Legends experience for everyone. Follow them at WeAreDCLOL. We have finally, but certainly not least, Slush and Crust. Slush and Crust Productions is an entertainment business dedicated to providing a one-of-a-kind experience to our partygoers, as well as establishing a supportive, inclusive, and fun-filled scene for the neurodiverse.
I'm sorry, that could have been way smoother. We will work on that, but these people are the people who have supported us in our endeavors and all of the things that we have been working on. So I apologize, Confident Gamers, for not giving you guys the proper love, because you guys have given us so much love. I'll make sure to change that. Wizards DG, Esports Fair Play, Rufus Connects, Game On DC, Gex DC, League of Legends DC, and Slush and Crust. Thank you guys so much. Your support means so much, and we really couldn't do this without her.
We have been looking at chat a little bit.
I know, we've been
Sorry
looking
we
at
haven't
chat. You guys are
entirely
amazing.
interacted, but thank you, chat. Thank you for everybody who's come out.
You guys are incredible.
Thank you for everyone who's been following along on the social media. And please be sure to follow Game Gym, follow Stevenson University Esports, and keep up with us. We're definitely trying to sort of do things unique and do things differently. And there's our beautiful logo yet again, which, by the way, was a lot of fun to make. Not a logo designer normally, but Josh said, hey, we should make a logo for this. And I said, yeah, let's go for it. So you'd be surprised how many iterations this logo went through, I should say.
It's true. But we were terrors. Anybody who knows me knows that I was an absolute terror with the logo.
It was a lot of fun.
But, so we got a couple minutes left. What I really want to do is, kind of go over what the tournament is all about and how this is going to work. So the event is going to be at Stevenson University on December 8th. We are going to be working on for the next month to put this whole thing together. You can check it out now, chat.
At the link below.
At the link that I just added this. Registration is going to be opening tomorrow. But what we're going to do is we're going to get to Stevenson around 9, 10 a.m. We're going to warm up. There's also going to be an expo and a couple presenters that we have for the parents and the other people that come that talk about Stevenson.
So before we get too far into those details,
Sure.
I want to make sure that the idea of this event is we want to make sure that parents are involved. It's very easy to think that parents will just say, yeah, cool, you can go to this competition, and they're going to drive up, drop their kid off, and leave. I want to make it very clear, and I'm sure Josh will agree with me, this event is almost as much for the parents as it is for the kids. And the value is obviously different for both, but these speakers and these panels and this information that we are planning to provide is going to be very helpful for the parents, for having them understand exactly what it is that their kids are interested in. I think Josh touches on this in lots of different areas, and you know, the goal is to educate the parents about what it is that their kids are doing, and teaching them. It's kind of a bonding moment, I would almost say, right? You know, we want. The way I think about this event is almost like a Saturday soccer tournament where you know, you wouldn't just drive up and drop your kid off. You would stay, watch.
No, you're coming and you're bringing orange slices.
Exactly. You're asking questions, all that stuff. So
we want parents to be involved.
Absolutely want to make sure that that's very clear to everybody who plans on being involved. You know, if you're a parent, if you're a kid about to ask your parents, you know, please make sure that they know that parents are definitely supposed to stay.
Totally. So we're going to be, it's a $20 entry per person. And this is going to be really cool. So, you know, what we're working for, why we're competing. Wizards DG has given us the opportunity to learn from real live esports pros in our area. So the grand prize winner of our League of Legends and our Overwatch tournaments are going to be...
We didn't even announce what games we were doing.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're all over the place. Spoiler alert.
Dude, I'm
Ignite,
so bad.
by the way. So Ignite will be a League of Legends and an Overwatch tournament. The winners of both tournaments, the winners in general, as Josh said, will get an opportunity to travel to the Wizards District Gaming practice facility and get a chance to, you know, see how things work in the professional world. So, you know, they'll get that experience with Ignite, and then they'll actually get to go and see it at the professional level too.
Yeah, and I think that even though it's you know, not League of Legends or Overwatch, these are they're esports pros. These are guys who live esports at the professional level every day. They know what it takes to be great. They've been great, and you know, we'll be able to see how they train, and then hopefully have a chance to talk to them and get some experience and learn from these guys. So that's pretty cool. I mean, in terms of, you know, what we were talking about as we were putting this together was we were really interested in providing experiences for people.
Correct.
You know, you can get your laptop anywhere, you can get other things anywhere, but nobody is going to be able to get that. You know, to me, that's a pretty special experience, and we wanted to make sure that our kids and the people who entered this tournament had something pretty cool to
say that they did.
Yeah, to say that they did.
It's one thing to say like, oh, you know, it's really great, you know, I won this laptop for this tournament. That's cool, but we want to be able to say that, yeah, I got to go and tour Wizards DG before.
And it's relatable.
You know,
exactly. It's like, you know, I don't know Ninja, but I know Boo Painter.
Right.
You know, like I know the dudes on Wizards DG because they live in the same neighborhood. I'll probably see them at another esports event. Like, to me, that's super, super, super cool. So that's one of the things we're going to be working for. We also are going to be, you know, trying to come up with other little prize packs for people. So there might be some more announcements in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be registering on Battlefy. So on this page tomorrow, you will be able to register and click the link to Battlefy to register. And this is, I think, one of the coolest things about it is that, you know, you are going to be able to register as an individual, a group, or a team.
Yeah, there was a question in the chat. Do we need to be teams beforehand?
That is the coolest thing. So if you enter in as an individual or a group, we're going to try to team you together. Every group that entered is going to be assigned a coach. So it's either going to be me or Tyler or one of our staff or maybe a Stevenson staff member, and they're going to help facilitate things and help everybody get ready, get situated.
Especially if you've never met your teammates before. If you're joining as a single or as a duo or something, you know, we want to make sure that you are familiar with the facility, and that way you don't feel, you know, we want to make sure that no one feels alone.
Yep.
That's super important to both of us, I think, is making sure that, yeah, we could set up this cool event, have all these kids sign up and everything, but if we don't help introduce them to each other and kind of create that, sort of like the icebreaker, I would say. And even at the college level, believe it or not, this is, you know, it's very, you know, I would say kids are usually more outgoing than college students or even the other way around sometimes. But, you know, I think it's really important to, especially for their first experience, to make sure that everyone knows who they're playing with. And that way it's not awkward or uncomfortable.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, too, for me, you know, even if you get paired with a team or whatever is not ideal, these experiences are learning experiences. You know, if you've got a team and you've got to adapt and maybe play a different role than you thought you were going to, that's going to make you a better player.
And more flexible.
And more flexible, yeah, exactly. And so, you know, with this, you know, what we expect our players and the members of the game gym to do is to be flexible. Correct. And to allow us to you know, figure out the kinks and work out the kinks as we put this thing together. But, you know, the other thing is that you will have a coach involved. There will be a coach to help facilitate things, to say, maybe we should try it this way or that way, and we'll be able to help facilitate. The other thing that I think is really important about it is that, you are not always going to be put on teams with, the best players.
Sure.
Like you go to university, you go here, you go there, or like Maryland, like maybe the best players aren't here.
Right.
You've got to figure out and adapt and figure out the best configuration to make sure that your team is successful. Correct. And I think that that's a skill that whether it's esports or business or any other thing, you're going to be put in teams with different people and you're going to have to adapt.
And be flexible.
And the people who are smart and flexible, they win.
Exactly.
So, that's one of the things that we're going to really work on. And it also means that the earlier you register, the better off the situation will be.
Absolutely.
That to me is a big thing, because if we have a couple months or a full month to put all these teams together, that's one thing. If we have a week, that's less. But we expect, if you show up on day of, we could try to put together a team with you. We'd rather you have come and register early, but we're going to be open to anybody who wants to compete.
We're going to try to be flexible as well.
Exactly.
As much as we keep preaching that this is a learning experience for kids, this is also a learning experience for us and possibly for a lot of the community leaders in our area. I mean, I know for me personally, it's so cool to see all these things in esports happening, but everything seems to be so Western based, West Coast. And while we're like, yeah, esports, but at the same time, like over here on the East Coast, we're like, yeah, esports.
We're doing something pretty cool.
So I think we're trying to build that. We want a piece of that. And it's we're done going and being participants. I think now we want to start doing, making our own path.
Yeah. So. Exactly. And I think that's what we're doing, and we're going to bring all of our friends along with us, which I think is, a really cool thing. Just a couple more things in closing. This webpage is going to be where we're going to be updating information. Please follow the Game Gym on Twitter. We are the Game Gym Esports. Follow Stevenson. You guys are. So
on Twitter is where, like I said, primarily where you can get in contact with us. I run that account right now, so you usually be talking to me. It's at @SU_esports. And if you want to put that in, that would be good. And then also, if you're interested, if college is something you're interested in, we are a university. Please be sure to go to stevenson.edu. Check out our programs. We have a fantastic BS to MS program, which is what I'm a part of, and basically it's allowing me to get my master's degree in a year and a half after my bachelor's. And then we have fantastic adult undergraduate programs for those who are watching that are parents or adults. We do have really great options for you to come back to school if that's something you're interested in. So what I want to do now is just, if anybody has any questions in the chat, we're happy to answer. We're going to we will update the Twitter image.
Yeah, we're going to continue to make announcements. We're going to continue to promote.
Yep.
We would love your help promoting. We're really excited, and it doesn't matter if we get 2 kids or 100 kids. We're going to be doing Ignite in the spring, and we're going to be continuing this and pushing this forward. And I think that the future looks pretty bright.
Absolutely.
Looks like
I'm super excited. So
ignite.
If you guys, it's time to ignite. Hashtag. See, I really, really want to be able to reach out to Twitter and be like, hey, can we get a little hashtag Ignite with a little, icon? That'd be super cool. If you guys have any questions in the chat, please feel free to ask them. Now you can ask them about Ignite, you can ask them about Game Gym, you can ask them about Stevenson Esports, Stevenson University, life questions, whatever it is you guys want to talk about. We're here for a few more minutes, so please ask questions now.
We're gonna be on for like another 10 minutes. Conk, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, definitely.
I've been seeing him in there.
We'll let you know, man. Looks like I think everybody here is just our friends. So what's up, Maggie?
I think another thing that we didn't mention too is we do plan on broadcasting the matches and things. And per a suggestion from one of Josh's staff members, we want to do an interview type section as well. I think which would be really cool. Give those kids an opportunity to kind of feel like they're in the spotlight. Get the interview. Talk about their gameplay and kind of how they feel about everything. And I think it'll be just a really good time for them to kind of, get that stage present. I know for me, a lot of the esports kids, when we first started, a lot of them were very, they didn't really like public speaking. They were a little shy. And then over the course of the year of being a part of the esports program, they've come out of their shell, and now they're very outgoing and they're very willing to talk about esports and explain it because they feel comfortable about it. So
we've seen the same thing with our kids.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's interesting.
You see it that people come out of their shell.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that there's really not a whole lot. December 8th, Stevenson University, the game gym. We're putting on a tournament for kids who are 18 and under, amateur status in Overwatch and League, to win an amazing prize pack from Wizards DG, which includes an experience, a walkthrough of their practice facility, and a meet and greet with the players. And, I am so pumped to be able to do this, and I'm just,
Very exciting, yeah. So, and we will update. I know somebody said in the chat a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we got to update our Twitter.
We'll update the
do
Twitter
all that
banners,
stuff,
and we'll do some social. We're only two guys, I wish we could multiply, or I wish we could have an army of people ready to just do everything. But I think we did pretty good for just.
I think we, other than leaving the sponsor out,
notes.
Forgetting to announce the games and a number of other
We
things.
got excited.
I think we did pretty
excited.
good. Yeah, I think
we
it was
had the
solid.
fire lit
Yeah.
under us, and I think
look,
it got us a little bit.
the excitement, it's overwhelming, and we hope that your excitement is equally as overwhelming, or you are overwhelmed with excitement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you. Good night.
See you guys.